Oh, like, I don't think I left out anything. Oh yeah, like, I remember my friend was telling me you should stand when you have a contraction. I was like, no, I need to keep walking. So I did. So, yep, my labor and delivery story. I want to share it all with you guys. I had my baby on this, what am I talking about? July 19, 12:45 p.m. I started labor around 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I started feeling funny around 2 o'clock, like funny, like, just restless. I kept going to the bathroom and I went to, I had diarrhea and I also had my, like, a little streaks of blood coming out. So I guess that was my bloody show. And around, like, I was like so confused, like, am I having contractions or not? And I was praying like, Lord, please confirm to me if I'm having contractions or not, because I don't want this to be false, but I felt like contractions coming consistently, and I realized this is real contractions. I started timing them, but they weren't like a consistent time. There would be times where I feel like it wouldn't be consistent. Just to let you know, I don't want to explain it all, but my daughter's calling me in the back, and I am not gonna go and answer her because she doesn't have to call me. She can just come out her room. Yes, so I wasn't feeling my contractions consistently, and then, but I would feel them consistently, but not at consistent times. So in that time, I was just getting ready for my hospital, like getting my hospital bag put together. I was just like making sure everything was together for my hospital bag. And I took a shower, through contractions and all. I washed my, I got my, like, I put on a little bit of makeup. I just did it all like before I left. Like, I just made sure I looked good, made sure I smelled good, made sure I felt good, make sure I had everything in my bag together. I tidied up my room a little bit, and through contractions and all, and I kept going into the, like, walking around, making like noises, trying to do with my contractions. And my husband's like, should I call the ambulance? Should I call the doctor? Should we go now? He's like, I'm tired and I can't sleep. So he's like, I said, you can sleep. I was like, you can sleep. And he's like, no, I can't sleep because you keep walking around and making these noises. And so eventually, he took me to the hospital, and he took me to the hospital around 6 p.m. And yeah, and then I went to the hospital. They said I was 5 to 6 centimeters around 5 o'clock. And then they sent me to that room, like seeing if I really have contractions, examining me. And then they sent me to my labor and delivery room where I had my beautiful baby. And I had such a nice nurse. I believe her name was Misty. She is so helpful, like, and she is so caring, so loving. Like, the thing about it, I prayed. I was like, Lord, please allow me to have supportive nurses, surround me with supportive doctors. And I had the most supportive nurse, and I had a supportive doctor. So I just want to say thank you to God for that, because I believe it's because of I had supportive nurses and a supportive nurse and doctor. I had the labor and delivery story that I wanted. So she was so helpful. She just told me, breathe through your contractions, breathe in and out. Like she just showed me how to do it. Like make sure I stay calm, because when I'm not calm through contractions, it makes the baby in distress. It makes her heart rate go up and all of that. And I just thought about that. I don't want that for my baby, so I just tried my best to stay calm. So yeah, I didn't want my water broken, but I just thought, I do not want to be laboring for a very long time, so I allowed the doctor to break my water. Probably she broke my water around 11 something, I don't know what time. And from then, the contractions got worse. I got to labor in the bath a little bit. The bath felt so good. But yet, the contractions were still painful, but it felt good to be in the bath for a little bit. I hated that I had it to be monitored every 20 minutes, laying on the bed. Like, if I didn't have to lay on that bed for every 20 minutes, I think things would have felt a little bit better for me, because I would have been able to labor the way I wanted to. But they had to keep putting me on the bed so that I could labor there a little bit and deal with the pain there a little bit, because they had to monitor the baby's heart rate and monitor me. And also I had GBS. I was GBS positive, so I had an IV basically the whole time. And anyways, so after they broke my water, my baby pooped, took her first poop inside of me. And when I tell you, after I heard that the baby took the first poop inside of me, I felt so bad. That was something I prayed. I said, Lord, please don't allow the baby to poop inside of me. Because, anyways, that was the worst worry that I had when I got into labor, when she broke my water. And what else happened? They said I was still 6 centimeters. That's gracious. Thank you. So they were so they said I was like 6 centimeters and a baby pooped inside of me. So after I heard that I was still 6 centimeters, I came in 6 centimeters, 5 to 6 centimeters at 6 o'clock. I said, give me the epidural. Just give me the epidural. Everything that I was hoping for, I just went out my head, because I was just like, I feel bad that my baby pooped. I can't deal with this pain anymore, because I was just worried. And I just, the story where Peter had to walk on water and he sank. And Jesus got him back up, but he sank. And the reason why he sank, because he got worried. He saw the wave. He saw the wave getting higher, so he sunk. And that's kind of what happened to me. I said, you know what? I don't want to deal with this pain anymore. I'm so worried about my baby right now. I'm still 6 centimeters, and I came in 6 centimeters, and I said, you know what? I don't want to fight for this natural birth anymore. And I said, can I have something for pain? Because the nurse was like, well, it's okay, we can give you that. But then she was like, you know, I don't want to make the baby sleepy, and before you get the epidural, you need to make sure you have IV fluid, a fluid bag. And I kept looking at that fluid bag and I was like, oh my gosh, it's not gonna go down any faster. The fluid. So I just had to deal with the pain. The nurse kept telling me to deal with the pain. She kept calling the doctor, to check me, and she kept checking me to see how much centimeters. And within 30 minutes after I said I want the epidural, I want something for pain, my baby came. And let me tell you something. She's healthy. She's beautiful, so beautiful. And she's my blessing. And I thought the meconium was gonna affect her. No, she was perfectly fine. They didn't take her away from me. And also, she was born with a knot, like a double knot in her cord, which could have stopped her oxygen from flowing to her, could have stopped food flowing to her. But glory be to God who watched over my baby. And she is fine. All the time during my pregnancy, I would pray, like, Lord, please protect my baby. And God protected my baby. And she has no abnormality. She's fine. But anyways, that is my birth story. Also, my friend Kina was such a big help to me. She encouraged me that I can do this. She was just rubbing my hand, making sure the nurse, like, she was just being another nurse for me as well. And, it's like God wanted her to be there. I thank God for her. I don't want to share all of it. Anyways, so I'm so thankful. And then my husband came when the baby came. After, right away, he came. And he got to see the baby. And her name is Gloria. Me and him fought over the name. I wanted to name her Glory. But I said, you know what? I don't want to fight anymore. Gloria means glory. So her name is Glory. And I started crying. I was speaking in tongues while I was in labor. I cried. I spoke in tongues. I was a hot mess. And I would pray scriptures in my head. I would hear scriptures. I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I can do this. I would hear words of affirmations going through my mind, and that's what helped me to get through this birth. And I even said it out loud at times. I can do this. And then my nurse, who was so supportive, she said, yes, you can do this. So I just don't want to leave anything out of my story. But anyways, that's my story. I know this is a weird angle. But yep, that is my beautiful birth story that the Lord gave me. I asked him for a beautiful birth story and the Lord gave it to me. Thank you, Lord. Glory be to God for the great things that he has done in my life, and in my daughter's life, and in my husband's life, and in my family's life. Okay, bye-bye.